Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Wednesday Night OWCP Chats with Chris and Gini. We are your hosts tonight.
And every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We come on here live every Wednesday on this Facebook page, and we train, educate, and answer questions on federal work comp and help yourself. I don't know what to say. Help yourself. Hello, everyone.
It's Jerry Maguire episode. Help you.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah. Help me.
Whatever. Anyway, hello, everyone.
Hey, Ron.
Don't forget to follow, like, and share, and share some more. Now,
so if you didn't hear her, go ahead and hit the share button. We're not going to go anywhere. If you leave the page, come right back. We'll still be here. And because you're here, hit the like and follow button. You're already here, so hit like and follow. It's not that big a deal. The buttons say like and follow. If you click them one time, you're good to go. So like, follow, and share. Share a lot, because a lot of people have questions. Hi, Tammy Newman. Rich. Hello, Rich. A lot of people have questions, and they need help the way you need the help. And you're here because you need the help. Well, they do too. So if you share, it'll give them an opportunity to come and get help as well, because tonight is Q&A. So you're going to try to stump the chump. That's me, and I'm not getting stumped, so I won't be the chump. No, I'm not going to be the chump. That's not happening tonight. Somebody may ask a question that's way outside the realm of OWCP, and I will likely still know the answer, but not necessarily. So don't try to stump me outside of OWCP.
Don't stump the chump. All right, let's do some housekeeping.
I don't do housekeeping. We got boys here. They can do all the housekeeping.
Doing housekeeping. Okay, so this is the last week that you guys have to share all of our lives up until the 30th or 31st. I don't even know what.
What month are we in?
July?
31st.
31 days. So you have until the 31st to share our posts and our lives to be the July share winner. So far, I have 3 people in the lead, so let's get cracking.
Yeah, somebody can pull away tonight by sharing this video.
Yeah. What else? I'm still sharing.
Oh, yeah. Keep talking. Talk amongst yourselves, folks.
Anyways, so tonight we're doing Q&A. Don't forget to share, like, and follow. If you guys are looking for the book, you go to www.breakingowcp.com. The books are now...
They're basically, if you buy them both, they're $8.97 a piece, free shipping.
There we go. Something like that.
But get them together. If you get one, it's not enough. I mean, it's good. Like, the first book has all the rules, laws, and regulations, which are really fun when your supervisor tries to jack around with you, because you can turn to that chapter and go, yeah, but what about this law? Or what about this code in the Code of Federal Regulations? So that's really helpful. The second book, my favorite thing about the second book is a chapter on schedule awards, where you can calculate your own schedule award if you have the data and find out how much money you should actually get. Eric Blowers, our lawyer friend, says that a lot of schedule awards are wrong, but he reviewed this chapter before I published it and says this is a good chapter. So you'll actually be able to go in and see what it should be, which I think is fun. It never existed before. I was searching the internet. I was like, crap, how does anybody know what their schedule award's supposed to be? The answer is they just don't know. They don't know. So
get the book.
Now you can know at breakingowcp.com. I'm proud of these books. They've helped a lot of people. You'll see a lot of people on here talking about the books and how helpful they were. And that's the point. They're not like extremely entertaining books. These aren't graphic novels. They were meant to break down a very complicated system into something easy that everyone can understand.
Yeah.
And I think I did that here. So check out breakingowcp.com and get your books tonight. All the orders that are made tonight will be shipped out tomorrow. So you should be able to get them pretty quick. I mail everything through the Postal Service. I don't use UPS or FedEx ever as a rule. So it'll move at the speed of the post office.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
We've seen how it can get crazy.
Hey, you guys are busy. I know. I understand. You guys are busy. We live in this small town here, and our small town post office is just cranking all the time. So I understand, but that's what I use anyways. We ship it through USPS.
And I know you guys probably hate me because I keep posting all my winter pictures.
Hey, nobody hates you.
because I'm waiting for this freaking heat to go away, and I know it's gonna suck for you guys because you guys are gonna be busy starting October. Get your packages in, people.
You're welcome, Ron. I love using USPS. It'd be kind of hypocritical not to.
Yeah, like we
to
always
be here helping
do.
you and then like shipping with FedEx, that'd be very silly.
And then people that I know that have businesses, I'm like, why are you using UPS? Go with USPS. So they've been doing that.
I mean, obviously we're pandering to you. No, we really do. I've always used USPS. That's just the bottom line.
All right, I'm sharing. I hope you're sharing.
Yeah, so everyone share. If you haven't, please just do so right now. We're going to get into this. Everyone's starting to ask their questions already. I'm going to start answering those questions. So let's be sure that all of your friends and coworkers and your coworkers who are your friends. And by the way, I recommend you make friends with at least one coworker. Do that. And then tell your coworker that's your friend about Wednesday Night Chats.
What's really good, I've known some of you that have been doing this. You're actually posting the post and our lives to your page, and then you're tagging a ton of people.
Good work. That's really good work.
We had Kim Davis tagged 72 people yesterday. So
Dang, Kim.
Yeah, she was on it.
Beast mode. Thank you, Kim.
Yeah. So I'm still sharing.
Yeah, so she's sharing too. She's got a bunch of pages she shares too.
Yeah.
Union pages that have asked her to share.
I really share a lot of stuff for AFGE, their Facebook pages, because
they ask us to.
They ask us to.
They want us to. And you can do that too. I'd love it if you guys would share, and ladies, share on your union pages. That way, whoever the administrator of the page is won't get mad at me or her for sharing it. So you do it. It's partly your page too, so just share it there because surely people there need the help. And unfortunately, we see pages, like new pages we're invited to, that start talking about OWCP, and the stuff that's getting said is just like mind-blowing to me. I can't believe that stuff is getting thought, much less said out loud by so many people. There's a lot of misinformation going around about OWCP. It just is. It's not necessarily on purpose, but it's happening. So point people here because that doesn't happen here. Only good information here. So, all right, let's get started in the questions. Don't forget to go to breakingowcp.com. All the forms that I talk about tonight, when I mention a form, you'll be able to find it at our other website that is federalinjurycenters.com. And I would love it if all of you would go to our third site, OWCPchats.com. There you'll be asked to register, but the purpose of registering is just so I know where you're located so that we can find doctors in areas that are needed. If I see a high concentration of people someplace, I'm going to find a doctor in that area. I'm looking for doctors in all areas, but certainly there. Because we find doctors to help you get your claims accepted, and that's our specialty, is getting your OWCP claims approved. Here, we're just answering your questions, okay? But on the other side, we work with the doctors and make sure they do a good job when you need them. You still sharing? Mm-hmm. Oh, great, okay. So while she's still sharing, I do want to get to the questions, but this gives me a chance to talk about stuff I want to talk about. Is that we've got a lot of new franchise locations, like a lot. It's keeping me really busy. It's keeping us all really busy. Jennifer and her team are training every day, offices. Tom has recently been traveling to South Carolina, North Carolina. He's about to go to the Baton Rouge area. Gini and I were traveling all over Florida. We've been, I was just counting today, 10 different offices over the last month or so, right? Mm-hmm. And doing a lot of work there. So the whole point is to get them ready. And we're starting to see the results. And I've got all these offices who got their first patient, and all these offices' first patient got their claim approved. That's a clue. That's what we do. We get claims approved. So all these brand new offices getting brand new cases approved is kind of the point. 1 out of 7 injured people has an accepted claim nationwide. 6 out of 7 don't. At Federal Injury Centers, we're nearly 7 out of 7 accepted, and that's on purpose. And that's one of the biggest ways we help you. When people have an accepted claim, they stop having problems with their supervisor, they stop getting fired, they stop going homeless, they stop losing their livelihood.
Yep.
Just by getting a claim accepted. That's hugely important, and that's what we're doing. So all of our new doctors are doing a great job. If I had an audience here live, I'd ask them for a show of hands, but instead, it's just me.
Yeah.
You know, we're getting it done. This is the whole point. This is
right.
Get your claims accepted.
If I don't get to your question now, because what I'm seeing on my phone, you guys remember, you're typing away and all the questions are going, and I have to read them, so it slows me down. So I'm starting the first post was Mary Golden. She said the books break OWCP to layman's terms, very comprehensive.
Thank you, Mary.
Okay, first question tonight, Paul Lambert. So this is where we're at, guys, from Paul Lambert. I've been out on OWCP since July 31st, 2019. What will happen to my route after 2 years?
Well, they're going to try to take it away from you, Paul, so you need to get with your union. You're a rural carrier. The 2-year thing kind of gives that away. Did you say rural carrier? Otherwise, I was just thinking it in my own head.
No.
But yeah, after 2 years, they can definitely take it away from you. So do something. Talk to your union and find out what else you can do. Because that's an area they're going to have to help you in.
Aw, one of my New York friends said, "Hi, Soraya, you guys are the best for always trying to help people."
Thanks.
Mwah!
Appreciate
That's for
it.
you.
Yeah.
Susan said, "I hope you do carry your pickup." Okay, so I was explaining this to him. We haven't got the little USPS little box because our mailboxes are not at each person's home. It's in a set
It's
area.
like an apartment building.
Apartment,
They're all
yeah.
in one place. Yeah,
So,
and
yeah.
I like going to the post office anyways. And I don't have books to ship every single day. Believe it or not, people don't buy the book every day. So, anyways, I do love the idea, except for I like getting out of the house and going to the post office. I'm weird like that. I like going to the post
He
office.
does, actually.
I do. I like to go inside and talk to the folks.
All right, Sheila Collins, what do an OWCP nurse supposed to do?
So the nurse case manager's job in OWCP is to facilitate getting you back to work full duty, making sure everything's going well inside the system as it relates to you. Unfortunately, they don't always do that job well. Many times they will try to take you from the office because they think it's a chiropractor's office you can't be in. Or they may have some other bad intentions. Many times they don't, okay? Many times they're really good, and their whole job is to help you. If they're doing that job well, then great. If they're not, you can request your claims examiner to remove them.
Kelly said, I've heard nothing from OWCP in a while. They're paying 75% at this time. I'm coded as a 0-1 disability. What should I expect from OWCP? I was given your book. It's a wealth of knowledge. Thank you.
Well, when you have any questions about this, you got to call your claims examiner directly. If you're not sure how to get a hold of them, go to Google and search OWCP district offices. The first entry on Google will have a map that you click your state and it'll have a phone number. But that's who you call to find out what's going on there. Hopefully that answered the question.
Belinda said, why does a post office only pay you 45 days? CA7 can be filed till OWCP accepts your claim. What are injured employees supposed to do to live after 45 days?
Yeah, I hear that. So she's talking to, I'm thinking, is
Belinda.
Belinda's talking about continuation of pay. COP is good for 45 calendar days of pay. Only if you file a CA1 claim and only if you file that claim within 30 days of the injury. If you file your CA1 claim within 30 days of the injury, you can elect COP in box 15 of your CA1. There, it's good for 45 days of time off or until your claim's approved. The problem is too many of you don't get your claim approved, and so the 45 days of COP runs out. And then later on, your claim is ultimately denied or just not ultimately approved, and then the agency wants you to pay all that 45 days back, which sounds horrible. I will make a note, no Federal Injury Centers patients has ever paid that back because we get your claims approved. But what is someone to do? Well, I mean, the only options you have available to you are not good ones that I like, but you asked me a direct question, I'll give you a direct answer. You can use your own sick and vacation time and later on do leave buyback and get it back once your claim is accepted. You can use family medical leave, FMLA, and that will protect your job, but you only have 120 days a year of FMLA. And you're not necessarily paid through family medical leave just because you're off. You still need sick and annual leave. So those two things will work together. The most important thing you can do is find a Federal Injury Center's office and get your claim approved. That is the most important thing you can do. It's the fastest way to speed things up so you get paid.
Deanna Price says, okay, a few questions. So I submitted my first CA7 and a CA7A after using intermittent leave. Is there a time frame or deadline for that?
Every 2 weeks is what they tell you by rule, is turn that stuff in with the proper documentation every 2 weeks.
She also said, my manager never submitted the first one I filled out and then it was lost, of course. I just had surgery, so I submitted a CA7 and CA7A for multiple pay periods for the days I used intermittent leave, and another CA7 for a full week of leave after my surgery. Is this allowed?
Absolutely. You can turn in any number of CA7s as long as the information on them is correct. It doesn't matter. And as long as you turn in supporting documentation. But I want to address that your supervisor didn't turn that in. By rule, they had 5 days to turn that in from when they received it. So they violated the rule. You file a grievance on that right away. I would even call EEO and see if you've got a claim there at eeoc.gov, because they're preventing you from getting paid, and that's not okay. I always tell everyone, keep a copy of this stuff for yourself, just in case it accidentally gets lost in the trash can. Well, you're the one I'm talking to. It happened to you. At which point you could send it in through eComp with a note saying, I'm sending this to you because my supervisor didn't. And then we see what the claims examiner says from there.
She also said, also, will OWCP send it to my HRM at the post office, or do I have to submit it to them? Do I need to submit something to OWCP for my physical therapy for my visits?
Yeah, great questions. Really, really great questions. Your CA7 gets turned in through your supervisor. They have to fill out page 2, and then they turn it in within 5 days to the claims examiner. But keep a copy and e-copy yourself if they don't turn it in, because that's a serious problem for you. Yeah, you can turn in any number of these things. And the appointments, you want to get a printout of those. That's one piece of documentation you need. If you're at the doctor and that's why you're off of work, get a printout of the appointments and have the doctor or therapist, whoever is working with you, sign off on those to make sure they know those are legit appointments. And then you want to attach a CA17, a CA20, and a disability narrative that is your doctor explaining medically why you're off of work. Those are the 4 things that you attach.
Steve Kick said, went to your Gainesville location, met with Alex. I'm thrilled how it went. I'm no longer stressing.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that Gainesville location hit the ground running. They were doing a really good job. The doctor over there and the whole staff is really dialed in, so I'm glad that's working out for you. Your claims are going to get accepted in Gainesville.
Emma said, hi to both of you from California. Hello.
Hey, hello, California.
Kelly said, DOL rebunked the job modification UPS gave to me, and I have not been offered anything else. That was months ago. What is the protocol?
Oh, I'm hoping that was supposed to be USPS and not UPS.
Sorry.
Was it?
Yeah.
All right, read the question again. You said UPS and totally threw me off. Who would work for UPS? Read the
DOL rebunked the job modification GRUM USPS to me, and I have not been offered anything else. That was months ago. What is the protocol?
Be careful with typos when you write stuff, because she's gonna read it.
I'm reading it just as you guys put.
Freaking Ron Burgundy sitting here, okay? She's reading whatever's on the teleprompter.
Yes.
Which, give me this. I thought Ron Burgundy, and I'm out. All right.
Sorry, I have allergies in my eyes. So bad. Kingston.
Okay, you need to. Okay, when go to your union and just get help. You need a job offer. Okay, they're supposed to help you work. DOL can't. I don't know how they took a job offer away. If the agency gave it to you, that's funny. I never hear about that happening, but your union needs to be able to help you with that. When the agency makes a job offer, you're supposed to be able to take it. I can't imagine why the Department of Labor would take that away from you. I've just never even heard of a role that would apply here.
Thank you for all the hearts and the likes, guys. Somebody said Ron Burgundy. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, me and Ron Burgundy sitting here.
Hi, welcome to WCP Chats with Ron Burgundy and Chris Helms.
Be careful what you type in the comments, because it's getting read. No matter what it says, it's going to get read.
So if you say something, I'm going to read it just as. Todd Schroeder said, I've been off of work for a month with a non-work injury with my back. I have another month to go. I was told I can file a work comp claim, CA2, but also was told if they deny it, the insurance would stop paying my bills then. Is this true? What?
Well, first of all, if your back injury or back pain is a legitimate OWCP claim, you should file it. If it developed over 2 or more shifts, it would go on a CA2. If it developed in 1 shift, it goes on a CA1. You don't have to have an incident that happens to have a legitimate work injury. You don't have to bend down and pick up a package and hurt yourself. It's something that can develop over time through walking 10 miles a day as a letter carrier, right? So you should file a CA2. Your claim should be approved. CA2 claims get approved all the time. If they're legitimate and timely filed, meaning within 3 years of when you knew this was work-related, then it should be approved. And don't worry about it from there. Insurances do a thing called subrogation. If it's found that this is a legitimate work injury as evidenced by it getting accepted, then Department of Labor and your health insurance, whether it's Blue Cross or whatever, will work it out to make things right. But that won't be your problem.
Renee Marie said, management claims they could only find 4.5 hours for the weeks prior to my injury. Completely inaccurate. Will pay stubs I send with the CA7 be accepted over their claim on my hours, or what do I need to do?
Well, definitely do that. Attach that and any other documentation you have to combat whatever crap your managers, say and do. All right. I'm going to have a moment of silence for the questions she hasn't read yet.
Renee Rose said, hi kids, I know you're busy. Do we have an ETA on getting surgeons on board?
Well, it depends on where you're at, because it's not our standard practice to have surgeons on board. However, we do have a couple here in the Clearwater, Tampa Bay area that have indicated they'd like to help you out. But that's in a case-by-case, city-by-city basis. I can't control what the surgeons do, but we are working with some of them, trying to get them to come on board and help you out.
Oh, hey, Dr. Rubin. So you guys know Dr. Rubin is on. He's watching.
He's in Northport, and he's about to be opened up in Fort Myers, Florida.
On the 2nd of August.
If you're in Fort Myers or Northport, I would love it if you would just flood his office so that I'd like Dr. Rubin calling me every day complaining about how he's too busy. That'd be so great.
Linda Gilman said, can you advise me a good federal attorney for work-related attorney?
Yeah, his name is Eric Blowers.
Contact Eric Blowers.
He's the only one that we recommend. There are others. I'm not saying the other ones are bad. When I say that we only recommend him, it's not because we hate everyone else. It's because we know him, we trust him, and people that are on here are going to tell you the same thing. Everyone that knows him trusts him and likes him.
Yeah. Carol said, can you use LWOP for FMLA if you can afford to?
No, you don't need it. So when your claim's approved, that's a good question, but when your claim's approved, you don't need to waste FMLA. Instead, with your approved claim, you just turn in your CA7s. You can't be fired for having a legitimate claim that's approved. So you don't need FMLA to protect your job, which is its purpose. It's to protect your job. So the accepted claim does the job of protecting your job.
Kimberly, where is the closest OWCP doctor from Tallahassee, Florida?
Oh, hold on.
In Tallahassee?
It is. It's right in Tallahassee. So go to federalinjurycenters.com, because, and those of you that are new, I should say this, people that are regulars here, they know this already. This is not a referral service. Federal Injury Centers, Wednesday night OWCP chats, Gini and Chris. We're not a referral service. We're not here to facilitate you getting to a doctor. We respect your right to choose. The choice of doctor is yours. It's written on a CA10. It's written in the Code of Federal Regulations. It's written in a number of places that you have the right to choose your own doctor. And so we're not going to sit here and say, choose our doctor. Do what you want. If what you want is one of our doctors, go to federalinjurycenters.com and click on locations, and you'll find all the addresses and phone numbers directly to those offices, and you can call yourself. And we love it. We definitely obviously want you to go there. I didn't create a Federal Injury Centers franchise for you to go someplace else. But I won't be the one to tell you to go. You decide. And if you decide to go, we'll take good care of you.
Donna Martinez says, why is all our medication visible to our OWCP doctors?
I don't know why all your medication is visible to your doctor. I don't.
So
I don't know.
If
Electronic
you're
records? I don't know.
If you're seeing a doctor and he has EMR and they go through the system where they have to upload your RX, your prescriptions, sometimes the list pulls up because this is what they're trying to do to stop pain management, narcotics to be out there and for people to abuse it, because what people do is make photocopies of prescriptions and go to different pharmacies, say they flush their medication down the toilet. Remember, I have a nursing background. I've heard all the stories, and I remember when we were doing this training. So if that's the case, you need to discuss it with your doctor.
Well, yeah, but to put it a little bit more concise, it's to make sure you don't double up on medications. They don't want you to get the same hydrocodone from two different doctors.
Right.
It's to protect you.
And we want you guys to be protected.
Yeah.
Connie said, can you go to your own doctor?
Well, Connie, you can go to any doctor you want to go to.
As long as the doctor is credentialed with Department of Labor.
Well, no, you can go to any doctor, but if they're not credentialed, they won't get paid and they'll stop helping you.
And you probably won't get your claim accepted.
Yeah, it'll be tough.
Sheila said, hello from Michigan.
Hey, Sheila. Hello, Michigan.
Lori says, eComp is easy to navigate. It walks you through the steps. You can save and come back and complete later if you need.
Yeah, it is simple. In fact, before we got on here, like 5 minutes before, one of our case managers, Kamini, she made a presentation to train doctors on how to eComp. And it's an easy process. And I was looking, now I already know how to eComp, but she created this herself and it was really good and easy. So anybody can do it. Anyone can go to eComp and upload documents. So you should definitely learn how to use that.
Linda Gilman said, I reported my injury the day it happened, but didn't file for 8 weeks because that's when I was properly diagnosed with the injury I received. Torn ligament to elbow. I got one COP payment and HR wants it paid back.
Well, get your claim approved and they'll have no right to receive that money back. And as long as you report your injury and fill out your CA1 form within 30 days, you have every right to that COP. They can't just say, well, pay it back. That's not how it works.
Shelly Johnson said, hey, is your website back up and running? I was trying to find it on OWCP Doctor near me and it wouldn't upload my information.
Yeah, just go directly to federalinjurycenters.com. I was on there today. I go there all the time. It's been working all day long, so take a look. Federalinjurycenters with an S.com.
Renee said, on the CA7, it had a section asking about other income. Why does management get to see this? It isn't their business, and what other income we have, and so many are petty enough to use that against us when scheduling. Would a monthly payment from an annuity be listed as an income and count against what a person is paid?
No, annuities aren't employment. What they're wanting to know is your employment. But the reason they want to know about other monthly income is because they want to make sure, like let's say you're off of work because the doctor took you off of work, right? You're totally disabled from your job right now, but you're working someplace else. They're going to ask you, what the heck, why are you off work here, but you can work there? And maybe you can, maybe you're just making ice cream at Cold Stone, and maybe it's not a big deal like carrying the mail. But they still want to know. And they're also, they're probably going to offset your pay. And you have to tell the truth on this stuff. So whether you like it or not, it's not about your manager knowing about it, although they get to see it. It's about the claim examiner who pays your bills. They have a right to know. Even though we don't like it, you just have to do it. If you left that blank, they wouldn't pay you at all.
Oh, look at this. Linda also said, I was approved in January for my CA1. My injury happened October 21st. Congratulations.
Yeah, how about that?
Sheila Collins said, can you put in for disability retirement while on OWCP?
Yep, that's the answer. You can do it.
Tracy Pignon said, and I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing these names wrong. Pignon, yeah, it's pretty. Are you allowed to work overtime on your day off if on injury? I case my route but not deliver. Management told me to come in because we are down so many routes.
Well, you're allowed to work overtime as long as your CA17 doesn't restrict you from that. You've got you and your managers have to follow your CA17, period. If the doctor says you can only work 20 hours a week, that means you can't work overtime. Now, if the overtime hours are in the hours you're allowed to work and you didn't work anything else, it's not overtime anymore. But yeah, they can do it if it works inside your restrictions.
Kimberly Weiss, welcome. She
Hey.
said, I'm new to this.
Yeah, welcome.
I have a rotator cuff tear and saw a local ortho. I saw that you have a new place in Silver Spring.
Maryland.
I know I need a CA2 as this is ongoing. I just would like to know which way to go. Fill out a CA2 and give it to the supervisor, correct?
Yeah, that's right. Your first step, if everyone can go look at a form CA10, it's called What a Federal Employee Should Do When Injured at Work. It says report to supervisor as soon as possible, but that means now. It says if it's a CA1 claim, get a CA16 and choose your own doctor. The third thing it says is fill out a CA1 or CA2. So, and then get a receipt, which is part of the CA1 and 2, and figure out how you want to get paid. On a CA2 claim, your way to get paid is sick and annual leave. But you do go fill out a CA2 with your supervisor, get a complete copy of everything, and take it to your doctor. If you want to go to the Silver Springs, Maryland location, you're more than welcome to, but you need to go on federalinjurycenters.com and find the phone number and call yourself.
Yep.
And they'll be glad to help you.
Not Amika. What a pretty name.
No doubt.
Went to the ER with the CA16. Now I have $16,000 bill. I sent to Department of Labor, was told that I'll be reimbursed once I pay it. Is this correct procedure?
I try to be nice on this, but hell no.
No.
What the ER should do is turn your CA16 in to the claims examiner, and then they should pay your bills. That's the whole point of the form, is the form pays your bills. So call your claims examiner and say, I have this form. Why in the heck do I have to pay anything?
Yeah, $16,000 is a lot. Do not pay that out of your pocket.
And then call the ER, talk to the billing manager, and ask them if they know what a CA16 is and how to use it.
Yeah.
They're welcome to call me. You can give anybody our number. I would talk to any ER billing manager to save you tens of thousands of dollars. Anytime. Put me on the phone with them and I'll help you out.
All right, Tona said, I have a doctor. Oh, no. I have a doctor who is willing to write a narrative for $750. How much is it supposed to cost for an impairment rating?
What's that number?
Zero.
Oh, that's right. It should cost $0.
$0.
Now listen, I know of a lot of doctors, unfortunately, who do try to charge you out of your pocket because they say it's a lot of work to do an impairment rating, and the money that Department of Labor pays isn't enough. The DOL pays somewhere between $335 and $350. Now that you know that Department of Labor will pay the doctor for this, why should you have to pay? No federal injury center's office is allowed. Nobody is permitted to take money from you for anything, including a schedule award.
Kimberly Durant said, what if you get injured on the job and the job told DOL they'll accommodate you but don't?
Well, I mean, they lied. If they don't accommodate you, you've got to go back to the doctor, show the doctor or tell the doctor what your work restriction or what your duties are, and have them write a CA-17 that takes you away from those duties that are not safe for you. And then you need to contact your claims examiner. And if you have a nurse case manager, I'd get them involved too.
Okay, so everybody's asking for
Eric. Oh, and union, file agreements. Sorry.
Eric's number, I'm going to post it in just a minute. And his last name is Blowers, like flowers, like, you know.
Or like blowers.
Flowers.
But it's not blowers, it's flowers.
Flowers, yeah. Just change the F as in Frank to B as in boy, BLOWERS. Hi, Colleen. Colleen's on here too. We're just about ready in Fort Myers, here in the chat to learn like the rest of you guys. So you see, we have a lot of the doctors' offices that are franchises now. They're on here too because this stuff is all learning for them as well. And listen to your, not complaints, but your questions that or the complaints you do have.
Yeah, and Colleen Rubin is, so that's Northport and Fort Myers coming like in a matter of no time at all. In the next week or two. But she is the person in their office that's sort of spearheading this program and running it and taking charge of it. And she and I talk most days. She is sharp as a tack. So if you go to Northport or you go to Fort Myers, you're going to be in really, really good hands. I've already seen her work. I know how the office writes narrative reports. They do a good job. Okay, these claims are going to get approved. So
they do. And their office
Colleen and Dr. Rubin, thanks for being on.
Darlene, you want to know if there's any doctors in Arcadia, Florida? You just need to go on OWCPchats.com or federalinjurycenters.com. If you guys are going to ask, if anyone is asking for where our offices are located, please go to federalinjurycenters.com, click locations, or you can go to OWCPchats.com, click locations.
We're really big on compliance. Federal Injury Centers is huge in compliance. It's like literally chapter 1 in the book. And yeah, we have our own book, okay? It's called a training manual.
Yeah.
And so we're really big on that. And one of the compliance points is that we don't make referrals. We just don't. So thank you for checking out federalinjurycenters.com or OWCPchats.com.
Ahmad Yusuf said, back injury I injured on 10/21/21. Hey, you got to October 4, so you meant 20. I'm still getting treatment. They try to find work for me because I have some instructions, like not to carry more than 5 pounds. So a few weeks ago was the second time that they told me that they could not find work for me.
So, 2 things that could be good for you in this bad situation. Number 1, if your claim is approved, that would be good. Because if it's approved and they can't accommodate you, then you can just attach a letter to your CA7 saying my supervisor can't accommodate me. You're going to get paid on your CA7s. But number 1, you got to get your claim approved. So if you're close to some place that can help you get a claim approved, I recommend giving them a call.
Marie Smith said, my claim was not approved until I used up all of my FMLA. Is there anything I could do?
Find another doctor who will work faster and better. You got to get your claim approved. And then I see this all the time, people just burning through FMLA. And usually it's because they went to the wrong doctor, and you didn't mean to. You didn't even know what the right doctor was. Pretty soon, by the way, we're going to have a whole Wednesday night chats just on what it takes to find a doctor. Like, what should you be thinking about? What should you be looking for when you're searching on Google and so forth? But right now, if your claim's not approved, you just got to find somebody who'll get it done. Or take your denial letter to your doctor and show them what it says specifically why it was denied, and have them write a narrative that fixes that.
I just pinned Mary Golden's comment. She put Eric Blowers' phone number. I need to check it, make sure that's the office phone number. If anybody has Eric's cell phone number, please don't call his personal cell.
Don't call his cell
number. I don't know how anybody got
it.
that number, but
don't post
his cell number, just the office number, okay? He has to deal with millions of you calling his cell phone, and I'm sure his family is not going to want people calling at 10 at night. So call the cell phone.
Or 2 in the morning. And I just saw Ron Speakman is here. Hey, Ron. He said, I was able to see his comment there. That he said, I just got here. Sorry I'm late. Buddy, you're welcome anytime. We left the door open for you. Don't worry. It's not even locked. Come on in. Ron. Good old Ron.
Hi, Ron.
There you go. The door's always unlocked for you, Ron. Just come on through.
Gilbert said, truck driver pulled away from dock while I was on a forklift. If work comp pays me if work comp pays me, will I have to repay them if I sue the trucking company?
Oh, so is it a third-party trucking company? Because if it is, that's a third-party claim potentially, and work comp will still pay you. Yeah, but if it's a third-party claim, they're going to require you to pursue the third party. So you won't actually have a choice but to sue the trucking company. By rule, OWCP will mandate that. And so they're not going to penalize you for doing what they mandate that you do. You'll be okay.
Cindy Cardona said, leave buyback. How long do you have to request it? And who or where do you send the forms into?
Fantastic question. Leave buyback can be done anytime as long as your claim's approved. There's no deadline. If you don't report by X number of days, months, or years, you don't have access to it. We know a guy named Gilbert who got his claim accepted after 8 years and was able to go back and get over $25,000 worth of time and money back. There was no deadline. He was still living and he got his claim approved. So he was able to go back and get it all. Stay alive, get your claim approved. You can have all your money back.
Renee Marie said, when your case is approved and you get a job offer and have to go back to the doctor for worsening symptoms, when the CA-17 is updated, do you get an entirely new job offer with any changes? Do job offers always happen in your office? Are there minimums on how many hours they can give you?
Well, they're supposed to always offer you limited duty assignments when your claim's approved. And it always has to match the CA-17. And sometimes you get worse at work. It happens, And so that means your doctor medically has to change your CA-17, which means they're required technically to go back and give you a new offer, but you're going to need help from your union. And most of the unions, fortunately, are very strong and can help you with that. So go talk to your union.
Marie Smith said, I asked for my annual and sick time back and I was told I can't.
Yes, you can. If your claim's approved, you definitely can. Fill out a CA-7, a 7A potentially, depends on how your time was continuous or intermittent, and a CA-7B. You definitely can. There's no rule that says you can't.
Stacy Mullen said, my diagnosis did not come until 6 months after an accident.
That's okay. You can still get help. You have 3 years to report an injury. You have it's a huge window, okay? So you're still okay. You can still get help.
Dr. Rubin said we're reasonably close to Arcadia and Northport, all things considered.
Dr. Rubin in Northport. Check it out at federalinjurycenters.com.
Renee Rose said Dr. K, Dr. Lee, and the whole staff in Pinellas is great. That's good to hear.
Yeah, they're killing it. I read another report from Dr. K today. Now, when I say from Dr. K, it's not just him. They have a medical doctor and a nurse practitioner that are integral parts of this, as they have to be. You got to have medical involved to get a case accepted. But when that's the better way to put it. When he emails reports, because I review reports, especially on new offices, I always review them, make sure that there's enough detail. not to tell them how to write things medically, but to make sure the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. My whole point is, I said all that to say his reports are fantastic, and that office is crushing it. So if you're near Pinellas Park or Palm Harbor and you go anywhere else, I mean, you must like a challenge and like that good losing feeling, because if you come to those offices, you're going to win. That's just how it goes. You're going to win. Bottom line.
Angela Louise said, I was injured on July 7th. Doctor won't see me without a letter of permission to bill. My caseworker has not returned a single phone call. What can I do? I'm working in pain.
Where do you live? Because your doctor not allowing you to come in means your doctor's not a real OWCP doctor.
Yeah.
If our doctors did that, I would just remove them from the franchise. They wouldn't even be able to be here tomorrow. We don't turn people away ever, no matter what.
Jennifer Isaac said, will I get 12 weeks of maternity leave plus 12 weeks of FMLA when I go on maternity leave? Also, will I be able to bid on a route while out?
I see what you did there. You're trying to stump me. That's not an OWCP question. But I come from a management background with a master's degree in management. They required me to take HR classes in that. And I can tell you that you can use your FMLA however the heck you want to use it, including for maternity leave. So use that. They have to protect your job. And also, as I recall, and it's been a while since I graduated, being pregnant is a protected class. They can't fire you because you're pregnant. In fact, there's a case out there. I remember everything I read. There's a case out there that ended up at the Supreme Court where someone ultimately was found to have not hired someone because they were pregnant. And so yeah, just use your FMLA. And that'll protect your job, but you don't even need it. Technically, they have to let you come back. But I don't trust them any further than I can throw them, so use it.
Stacy Mulling said, my diagnosis did not come until 6 months. I'm going to repeat that because we got interrupted. My diagnosis did not come until 6 months after my wreck, which was work-related. The CA1 was filed at 7 months. I was instantly rejected for COP.
Well, that's because you didn't report it within 30 days. You had to report your injury within 30 days, but if you had a car wreck, and it sounds like you did, it sounds like that you probably reported it the same day. You had to get like a police report.
Yeah.
I'm sure your supervisor knew it the same day, but if you waited 30 days to fill out a CA1, you're just not getting it.
So you guys have to remember that.
Yeah, you got to fill out your CA1 today.
Even if you fill out the CA1 today, then you'll get your COP.
And this is what I'm talking about on the CA10 form, what a federal employee should do when injured at work, which none of you has ever seen unless you've been following this. Go to federalinjurycenters.com, print that report, and post that report, that CA10 in your break room so that your coworkers will see it. Because here's what you would have learned if you saw that already. You had to report your injury now, right now. You had to fill out a CA1 right now. And the fifth section of the CA10 would have told you to fill out and ask for COP. But if you waited 30 days to fill out your CA1, you just don't get a COP. That's it. So everyone, that's a lesson. Report your injury now, today, right away. Don't wait because you start losing benefits. What's even worse than not getting COP is you also didn't get a CA16. You didn't get a CA16 because you didn't report in 7 days because you waited more than 30. Assuming that that's correct. I'm just trying to teach everyone else. So report immediately, now, right away, as soon as possible is right now. This is the soonest possible time to do anything. If I needed to report an injury right now and I was here talking to you, I would just say, hey, gotta go. Because right now is the soonest possible time to do anything. You need to do the same thing so you stop losing benefits.
I'm going to get a t-shirt that says hashtag file CA1 now.
That's a big hashtag.
Yeah, I'm going to do big. Yeah.
That's the way we do things here.
Tracy Forbes said, my manager point blank said she refused to speak to me directly. Is this normal? What?
I don't know. Maybe your manager's got social anxiety disorder. I'm not sure what the real issue is. Why would they not speak to you and about what topic? I need more information.
Joe Bach and Mary. No, we don't have any doctors in New York as yet. We're working on it. Before the end of the year, we will be there.
Yeah, and let me tell you why.
And Mary, it's Silver Springs, Maryland, not New York.
Yeah, it is Maryland. Let me tell you why we're not in New York yet. Because New York has red tape that the best scissors can't cut. It's just taken a lot of work. We have a franchise lawyer that's trying to navigate it. There in California, it's like your two states, New York and California, don't want you to get help. I don't understand. But we will eventually get a chainsaw big enough and bad enough to cut that red tape. We'll have a doctor there.
Can you advise me on a good federal attorney? Right down there where I pinned it, it says Eric Blowers.
Yeah. There are other decent federal attorneys, but he's the best.
Why are we freezing?
Now we're good.
No, now we're not. It's going on and off. Sorry, guys, if it's freezing. I don't know what's going on. M said, I retired last year and I'm under workers' compensation. Never received a schedule award.
Well, you don't get a schedule award until your doctor says you're at maximum medical improvement. Now, this is, thank you, M, for saying that. I have schedule award chapters in both of these books, but in particular this one. What you're going to learn by reading the chapters on schedule awards is that your doctor has to place you medically at MMI.
Freezing up.
At maximum medical improvement. And, hey, okay, they're probably fine. So at MMI, you got to be placed at MMI, and then you get an impairment rating based on the 6th edition, and then you get a schedule award. So you got to talk to your doctor about that. It is a medical decision 100%.
Are you guys freezing up? Because my phone's freezing up every other word.
Yeah, it's her phone, number one, and number two, we're in a new area with bad reception. But if you're good, if you're not good, hit a bunch of mad faces. Tell me you're freezing up by hitting mad faces.
Sharon said, can you get an impairment rating for one of your injuries if you have 3 injuries on one claim?
You sure can, because each injury has to be at MMI. If any one injury is at MMI, you can get an impairment rating for that injury.
Oh, people are saying that it's
You're freezing up too.
Yep, it says freezing.
All right, let's have less mad faces and more happy faces. All right, what else we got?
Okay.
I'm sorry, I can't control it. I was trying to control Wi-Fi's and cell signals earlier, and I realized that I'm not a cell tower, so.
Yeah, because we're coming off of his phone. That's odd.
I'm doing the best I can.
Oh, they're all giving me
Having not been a cell tower. But I'm going to try being a cell tower tomorrow. I'll do better.
Crap. If you file, everybody's giving mad faces.
No, keep going.
If you file your CA1 and CA2 at eComp, that way they never get lost and management can't deny. Yeah, that's true. If you file it yourself on eComp, they
The
can't.
CA1 and CA2?
Yeah.
No, you can't send a CA1 or 2
no.
on eComp. I mean, you can, but that's the wrong procedure. It's got to go through the supervisor because they've got to fill out page 2 and give you copies of everything. So most of the time, they're not going to accept it.
All right, Ashley Ann said, what if you fill out the CA1 and CA2 forms, but OWCP advocates within the VMAC doesn't submit the documents offered to Department of Labor? That's what the VA.
Yeah, well, if they don't send it in, you've got a serious problem. I would contact OSHA at 1-800-321-OSHA and ask if that's a violation, because them not sending it in means you don't get a claim number, which means you can't get help from a doctor with OWCP, which means you may not get help, which means you might not be safe at work.
This isn't working out.
So it's a safety issue. So 1-800-321-OSHA. And file a grievance. And look, we can't control the Wi-Fi, so just keep moving.
I'm sorry.
Just work through it. No problem.
They're getting, it's being cut off, so they're not hearing the question.
I know, I'm not going to go fix the cell towers tonight. I'm not qualified.
Mary said, ER wanted to charge my regular insurance. I said no. They're clueless about federal work comp. You're absolutely right.
Now, we are in the process of working with like 5 or 6 different ERs. I don't know. I think 3 of them are in Texas, actually. Anyways, we'll see what happens. But yeah, they're not trained.
Rajinder said, hello guys, I've requested to buy my leave buyback, which I used for work-related injury last year. They said you have to pay 25% to get your leave buyback.
So that's what it means, leave buyback. The CA7B is a worksheet that lets you know like how that's going to work for you, because it's probably different for everyone. So go fill that 7B out, and it'll tell you what it would actually cost. I always tell people it's a personal decision. Maybe you want to, maybe you don't.
All right, Ahmad, you said, so you've heard everyone saying that your back is not included in the schedule award. Correct. And also says, however, I looked into all the codes and law for federal employees and DOL. I only find that at dol.gov. Okay, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure if there was a question in there, but it was correct.
Rajinder said, is it true I have to pay them the 25%?
Yeah, well, I don't, okay, so this is not me being stumped. I don't know if it's 25%, but I know that it's not free. That's why it's called leave buy, B-U-Y, back. They're asking, do you want it back? You're going to buy it back. It's not a good deal for everybody. Some people say, absolutely not, I'm not doing that.
I know, these faces look crazy, guys. I'm sorry when it freezes up. When is Tucson going to open and Las Vegas?
Okay, so Tucson, I was just talking about that today. The franchise lawyer is dealing with him. Dr. Heaton is who we're talking about. A couple of weeks ago, he and I spoke, and he's very, very serious about joining, so he's not just yanking our chains. It's moving a little bit slow. And Vegas is moving way slower, and I have my doubts as to whether or not that will ever happen. We may have to go talk to some other doctor.
All right, Donna Martinez said, I'm having problems getting 2 upgrades. My new caseworker is not contacting me back. I'm needing my thoracic area added to my case because it's causing both shoulders unbelievable pain. Other than contacting our congressman office, is there another way to reach out to your caseworker? And thank you for Eric. He has helped me tremendously.
I think actually you don't need the caseworker to be involved in getting a diagnosis expansion. She said upgrade. That's an older term. We say the word expansion now because we're expanding the case to add new diagnoses. What you need is a doctor who knows how to write diagnosis expansion reports. That's the issue, is diagnosis expansion. So you need a doctor who knows how to write that report, and then that way you can get the new diagnosis added to your existing claim. Okay, so she's like really, really upset because it's freezing. So for those of you that are freezing, sorry. Like Ed's on, and he says it's not freezing for him. So I don't think it's happening across the board. Okay. So let's just keep moving.
Christopher Donahue said, why does the government get 4% of your schedule award?
It doesn't. That's the answer.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. I'm not sure who told you that, but that's definitely not in the rules.
Okay, Renee, you said you've been hearing rumors that all federal employees will be required to get the vaccine or be fired. Can they do that? Also, if they do and employees have long-lasting reactions or worse for going against doctor recommendations, what happens once the funding for COVID pay runs out?
Okay, so let me explain how this is going to work. This is all hypothetical, okay? But the only way they could fire you for not getting the vaccine is if there's an act of Congress that says, or an executive order from the president that says, federal employees must get a vaccine or they lose their job. Right now, that's not a law. There is no law that says you must get the vaccine or lose your job because, we have rights under the Constitution, and one of those is the right to our own health care. Like nobody can tell us what treatment to get. Like you can't make me get a medication. I'm not saying you shouldn't get a vaccine. I'm not saying you should get a vaccine. I'm just answering your question. So I don't think that's actually going to be the case because politically it would be a nightmare. I don't think they could ever pass something that would require you to get a vaccine or you get fired.
Like, see, for my instance, my personal self, I cannot get the vaccine because my doctor recommended that I don't, because you guys all see that I get IV therapy for me to boost my immune system. So if I get it, my immune system's going to shut down. So you need to do something.
But she's not a federal employee. And again, we're not telling you what to do.
Yeah, I'm just telling you.
But getting it back to them, so far, there is no law that says you have to get it or get fired. And it would really surprise me if that ever happened.
Yeah, that sounds...
imagine...
rumors.
Imagine you put a law together that affects 2.9 million federal employees and all their friends and family. That probably is politically unpopular, which means they won't do it.
Beverly Coleman said, had a conversation with Eric Blowers. He set my mind at ease thanks to you guys.
Yeah, Eric's great.
Roxanne Kimball said, I asked you guys a few weeks ago about a case I've had for now 2 years and 2 days. I sent the CA-17 and CA-20 in with the restrictions and now can't go back until 100% per the new postmaster. The problem is there are several people working part-time, half days, and help being provided to expecting mothers. What do I do now?
If they won't let you work, you document that, you turn it in as part of your documentation with your CA-7, and you stay home and get paid. What you're trying to do is go to work. Your doctor's trying to send you to work, and your agency, postmaster, is not letting you work. That means it's like an automatic pay slip. You're getting paid.
Ahmad, they said they did mention the back, but as the law said, if there is a loss of some part, so if the back injury causes you to lose any body part, then there's a schedule award.
Well, that's how it works. Yeah. So that was the previous question where I said, I'm not sure if there was a question in there, but that was correct. It is correct that the spine doesn't get a rating for Department of Labor, but it also is correct that if the spine causes symptoms radiating into your arms or legs, that you can get a rating in your arms or legs, but it still wouldn't be a spinal rating.
Linda Gilman said, you guys are so awesome and very much appreciated.
Linda, you're awesome, and we appreciate you.
Gloria said, you guys are awesome. Just read an hour book, and they are both good and super helpful. Buy it and read it, people.
Thank you. Go to breakingowcp.com. You know, what you won't get is a benefit of hearing me talk about it live like I'm doing right now, but you can read about everything that I talk about here. You know, each week we go over 1 or 2 topics, or like tonight we answer just everything, whatever you got. Like, we're just doing that. But here, all the topics are there, everything. So give it a try. BreakingOWCP.com.
Robert, if you want to talk to us personally, please give us a call at 877-787-OWCP.
Or send us a message with your phone number and we'll call you back.
Joe Box said, I have a question. A friend has permanent modified job at the USPS and is having new health issues. Was wondering if he has to put it as job duties, his modified duties, or what his full carrier duties would have been.
So a doctor can write new restrictions on a CA-17 as long as those restrictions are part of the work injury. Let's say that I've got a work injury with restrictions and then I develop some other condition that has nothing to do with the job. Your employer is not going to be obligated, although it would be good of them to do it. They won't be obligated to accept any restrictions that aren't related to the work injury.
Gloria Bitar said, you guys are awesome. Just read your 2 books. Super helpful and very good in all areas for OWCP.
Thank you, Gloria.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. I hope it helped. It sounds like it did.
John Reverend said, what up, y'all? Hey,
what up, John?
I listened to the songs you sent me. Pretty good. I'm impressed.
John's a musician?
Yeah.
I love music.
I have to let you hear it, yeah.
Yeah, John, I love music. I love all kinds of music. I'm a bit of a musician myself.
Mr. Yusuf said, which option should I choose when I apply for lost wages? There are 4 options that include the schedule award. Which one do I choose?
LWOP. It's letter A. What happened is you were gone. You left work without pay. You clocked out and you weren't on the clock. So you left without pay. LWOP is what you choose.
Kevin Jenkins said, when filling out a CA7 for an approved CA2, do I have to buy back my time or can I just get a check instead?
You don't have to buy it back. You can just let it go. You don't have to buy any of your time back. That's optional to you.
Carol said, and if you're a postal worker, you need to fill out a form that gives the union rep access to everything. It's the union person that works between USPS and OWCP.
And that's true in almost all cases. Most of the time, like a massive amount of the time, the unions do want to help you in that, but some of them aren't as helpful. Some locals, one of them in particular that I'm thinking of is not really that interested, but for most of them, like Rich Ray's here, he definitely is like intensely interested in helping. So I agree with that, but it's not always going to be something that's going to be helpful to you.
Yeah. Those of you that are asking if we're near, and if we're in another state, please go to federalinjurycenters.com, click locations, or go to OWCP chats and click locations.
The only location we have right now that's active that's not listed, but it will be tomorrow, is Kansas City, Missouri. But check back tomorrow if you're in that area, and I'll make sure that it gets listed because they're all trained up and ready to go. Dr. Shane over there is a good guy.
Rich Ray said, your claim is approved and you used your sick and annual leave and your time is not being put back to your bank. Please see a shop steward. It must be grieved ASAP. If management does not make that adjustment on the day you bring this to their attention, do not wait. And listen to him because he's a union president.
Yeah, Rich knows what he's talking about. He's an NALC president in Staten Island, and he's one of the stronger NALC presidents I've ever met. So if he says it, you do it.
Jennifer Isaac said, hi, new to all this. Will I get 12 weeks of maternity leave plus 12 weeks of FML leave when I go
You asked that question already.
They sent it again.
Oh, well,
Liz,
use your FMLA. It'll protect your job.
Sheila Bumstead said, I asked about a third-party suit last week where I received a letter from DOL stating I had to file a lawsuit for third-party liability on my CA1.
That's right. So that's what happens. If your injury is due to a third party, you're required to pursue them. When that's the case, I recommend that you call Eric Blowers. You're going to need a lawyer to pursue the third party. The insurance company is bigger than you. The insurance company will win. They will beat you. They will knock you all around. You will not make it. Call Eric Blowers.
She also said, on my CA1, my supervisor marked the box, no, there was no third party. but in box 32, he put my personal home address for the address of the third party. I tried contacting 2 different work comp law firms last week, including Mr. Blauer's office, with no response. Am I going to be in trouble for not already suing the location where I was injured?
You're not going to be in trouble, but keep calling Eric. Call again and again and again. Keep calling. He's a busy guy, but leave a message. He'll get back to you. Okay? He'll get back to you.
Please reply. Angela said, no doctors in Lansing, Michigan area
Nobody
will
in
take
Michigan.
federal comp except for the doctor that is requiring the letter of permission to bill.
Yeah, I'm going to work on that. We're obviously trying to go in every state, every major area. It's not easy. If you know of a doctor that you'd like me to talk to, I'd be happy to talk to them.
Miss Rose said, do you have to keep refiling FMLA papers till and when your claim is approved?
Well, you only get 120 days a year, so you just need to file it for each period of time that you're out of work. You don't have to take all 120 days at once. You can take them at any interval. Just be sure you file the paperwork for every interval of time that you're going to be off.
Luna Tugi said, how do I get on the 3-year program with OWCP, as I'm not on MMI still for many years, and now I have breast cancer in both breasts. Aww. And I've been going through this. I spoke with the claims examiner about 8 months ago, and she brought up about the 3-year. I'm having problems getting things done, and it's stressful.
I got to be honest with you, and this is not me being stumped. I have no idea what you're talking about, the 3-year thing.
Yeah.
The only thing 3 years tells me is you have 3 years to report an injury.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you did that already because you have a claims examiner. So I'd like you to send us a private message here on this Facebook page. Just go to the messages and send us one. Give us your phone number. I'm going to have somebody give you a call. That sounds like something we can help you with, but the 3-year thing is very confusing. We may be saying the same thing, but speaking a different language, so let's figure that out.
Ron Speakman said, put those CA-10s everywhere.
That's right. Put them everywhere.
Lynette Thompson said, they said I could no longer be seen by the doctor because I no longer lived in the area and had transferred out, and because I didn't tell them I transferred out within the 30 days, I no longer could be seen for the work injury that I've been getting physical therapy and other doctor visits paid for.
So I'm a poker player, and I like to play with my friends, and one of my friends is an ex-postal employee. He's retired now. He loves to tell me about how he's retired. He drives a Porsche on retirement as a letter carrier, a rural carrier, in fact. And sometimes we say things or do things at the poker table that makes him say, bullshit! And that just happened.
So...
That just happened.
Lynette, that was your answer. Do you want to tell her what the answer is again?
Bullshit!
Oh.
I just had to clear my throat.
It's what somebody put on here, BS, yeah.
Yeah.
M said, how can I find out if I'm still approved after I retire and never received a schedule award? How do I apply for one?
Oh, you're so lucky. You're still alive, and as long as you're alive, you get to apply for a schedule award. You just have to be living on the earth. And no longer living, definitely be alive. So once you are definitely still alive, you can get an impairment rating. I'm making a joke, but the truth is you just have to go see your doctor and ask, am I at MMI? And if you are, you can have an impairment rating, which will lead to a schedule award. Just stay alive. If you start not being alive, you won't be eligible anymore.
Barbara Ray said, can a doctor you've seen for 10 years always bill OWCP? Can he always charge $200 to fill a medical update for OWCP?
I don't know about $200. Here's the deal. OWCP has what's called a fee schedule. They have a max amount they pay. It's not even a max. It's just the amount they pay. Let's say your doctor bills $200 on something that only reimburses $2. He could bill $2,000. He's only getting $2. That's the way it goes. So I wouldn't worry about what the doctor's billing unless they're billing you and you're having to pay out of your pocket. But they can bill for the services they provide. They can bill for reports and visits and forms. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff they're allowed to do. But it doesn't really matter what the dollar amount is that they bill, because Department of Labor only pays what they pay, no matter what. If the fee schedule is $2 and you bill $2,000, you're getting $2.
John Stewart said, how do I apply to get my annual sick leave and annual leave back when I was out on job-related injury?
That's leave buyback. So go ahead and get a CA7, 7A, and 7B. You can get all those at federalinjurycenters.com. They're easier to download from there. Or at OWCPchats.com.
Jennifer Isaac said, so I will get 12 weeks of maternity leave and 12 weeks of FMLA?
No. I'm so sorry. That was my fault. I wasn't clear. You're only going to get the 12 weeks you're gone. But I would recommend using FMLA during that period of time, because then no supervisor can jack around with you and say you can't have your job back. That's just the bottom line. I would do that.
Valerie said, I was injured on July 2020. OWCP approved the torn rotator cuff after a year of dragging their feet. They now finally want to start talking surgery since the new MRI still shows it's torn.
Okay.
What happens if it goes beyond 2 years past injury date before I'm back full time? Will I lose my job?
They can certainly attempt to take it from you. And so that's why I always recommend you get with your union, have a rep help you. And I would also probably talk to EAP, employee assistance, and just see if there's something you can do so they don't do that. But they can definitely take your route from you.
John Stewart, you can find the book, and everybody that's asking for what the books are and where you can find them, you go to www.breakingowcp.com and purchase the books through there.
But get the 2-book bundle so that you're getting them at a way discounted price of $8.97 a piece. What did I used to charge for them? Like $17.95 or $19?
$14.95.
I can't remember, but it's almost like half price of
Yeah.
what they were before. I'm really just trying to get them out to you and have enough money left over so I can reprint some more books to give to the next people. That's the whole point.
Oh, and another thing.
And shipping's free.
For those of you that are actually on this page watching, as soon as you get off, hit the follow button. I need you to help me get to 10,000 followers by August 30th.
It's funny. There's like 2.9 million
And
federal
there's only
employees.
8,000 of you on here. Ah!
You can do better than that. You know, I'll tell you what. I'm going to keep showing up for you every week. All you got to do is hit the follow button.
Yeah. Sandra Chambers said, can't find a doctor to do back surgery for osteoarthritis in Mississippi.
Yeah, I don't know of any doctors in Mississippi, but we're working on it.
Heather Luna said, is it, or you can go to another state, Sandra.
Well, you can.
Your bordering state.
But they're talking about surgery.
Oh, yeah.
What are you going to do? Drive back? It'd be rough.
Oh, yeah.
You can do it, though. Yes, you can.
Heather Luna said, is it true that if you're on light duty, you can't bid, or if you're bid, you have to be off light duty within 30 days?
Right.
Yes. The answer is yes. These chats are on replays on your Facebook page, correct? Yes.
Yes.
All our videos, when you come onto the main page, you go down, scroll to videos, and every video we did since 2016 is on there.
And we don't know how to put thumbnails on, so you're going to get this.
Or
whatever. Our face is going to look really, really dumb. So, laugh and then click play.
Okay.
And if anybody knows how to make Facebook Live thumbnails, I'd be very interested in speaking with you. That I can get rid of those funny faces.
I ordered both books last week. When should I expect delivery?
Every book that's ever been ordered is not here. They're all gone. So expect delivery soon, within the next few days. I mean, it depends on when you ordered it, but they're all gone. Every book is out the door. And any delays, I'm sorry. Some of those delays are definitely my fault, but right now it's not.
Lynette said, what if you have a doctor's note stating your vision is impaired from a work injury and they stick you back on the chicken line and you tell them that you can't see the chickens going by and they tell you that the doctor didn't write good enough, not to put you on the line.
I got you. Look, I'm from a place too where there's chickens everywhere, so I like that reference.
I never heard that. It's cute.
I'm from the country. I like that. But if you have vision problems and your claim's not accepted, your supervisor is not going to necessarily honor those restrictions. So make sure your claim's approved. If it's approved, they're not honoring the restrictions, contact your union, talk about filing a grievance, and talk to them about what other recourse you have.
Nadamika said, leave buyback. You can't get paid twice, correct?
Right. They're never going to double pay you. Not on purpose. If they do, they'll ask for the money back.
What's the name of the books?
Breaking OWCP. Now check this out. The first one's called Breaking OWCP, Overcoming Obstacles That Lead to Personal Life Destruction. And I had somebody say, well, gosh, Chris, that's so negative. Why'd you say personal life destruction? And my answer was, ask around. The second book is called Breaking OWCP Volume 2, You Are Not Alone. The reason it's called You Are Not Alone is because I realized that so many people thought they were, and here we are. We're doing this thing. You're not alone.
No, you're not.
You're not, and the 40 offices that we've signed up so far are not letting you be alone, and there's more coming. We're here to help you. This epidemic of denied claims leading to homelessness and worse all the time can stop. If I'm part of an OWCP claim, it should be approved, and you shouldn't have personal life destruction because you're not alone. So anyways, go to breakingowcp.com and get these books. I wrote them from my heart. The first one took 28 hours, 3 days. 28 hours is not 3 days, but over a 3-day period, I spent 28 hours. It came out fast. The second one took a few months because I wanted to make sure there wasn't going to be a third one because I missed something in the first one. But there's going to be a third one. It's coming. There's going to be a third one.
Mary Golden said, I'm trying to change attending physician. My question is, how many times can I make that change?
As many times as a claim examiner will say yes. But Mary, I'd like to talk to you and find out why you're changing doctors. I know your doctor is. I'm just curious what's going on. So we should talk. Give us a message. Give us a call. I think you have my number. Give me a call.
Roxanne said, I think my earlier post got deleted. If I didn't read your post from before, it's because you guys are like shooting the questions out and I have to stop it and then read them one by one. So please be patient.
You are machine gunning questions and we're getting to them as fast as you can. But keep them coming. Keep them coming.
She said, I spoke with you guys about a month ago and resent in a new CA-17 and CA-20. They are now telling me it could be another 120 days before I get an answer on the LLV malfunctioning. This has gone on for 2 years. What should I do?
I mean, of the LLV malfunction, that's one thing. If it's a safety issue, I'd call OSHA. I mean, that's the first thing. 1-800-321-OSHA. But what was the rest of that? Would you mind reading again?
This has gone on for 2 years now. What should I do?
Okay, go ahead and start at the beginning. Read the whole thing.
I spoke with you guys about a month ago and resent in
the 17
and resent in the new CA-16, 17 and 20. They are now telling me it could be another 120 days before I get an answer on the LLV malfunctioning.
Oh, okay, I see. It's going to take as long as it takes. I'd call a claims examiner if we're talking about finding out how long before your claim's approved. That's a claims examiner issue. If it's about the LLV, I would still call OSHA, 1-800-321-OSHA. And I would get with my union and say, hey, for how much longer do I need to drive something that's malfunctioning? That's not safe. It's definitely not safe. Some of these vehicles, the older ones, are catching on fire. And, I think you've heard me tell the story, but there was a woman down here in Spring Hill, right?
Yeah.
Whose LLV caught on fire, and the supervisor said, go back in there and get the packages out. In a fire. Smoke inhalation, back injuries. I said to her, do you think that was a safety issue? You should call OSHA and find out. 1-800-321-OSHA. Turns out there was a bunch of LLVs that could have caught on fire.
Jewel Sinclair said, hi guys, can I put in a CA2 for cervical degenerative disease?
Yes.
Rich Ray said, we have 3 OSHA complaints regarding OWCP issues. Do you know how long it takes them to investigate? Because it seems like it's taking forever.
It does seem like it takes forever. And the problem is they don't have any rules that tell them how fast they got to respond. I imagine they're going down the list and they're triaging, figuring out what's the worst. And they may not even know. I'd call them back. I'd call them back and say, hey, what's the status?
Roxanne said, thank you guys. Y'all have definitely helped me sort of feel better. I appreciate you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Olive Yant said, I could have worked light duty. Post office didn't have any for me due to COVID. Renee Marie said, when y'all need more employees, we have a lot of people on here very willing to jump off the federal ship and join the crew that cares from the top down. Just saying, I've heard it many times.
So, we do care from the top down. This is all we do. And we love you. And I hear that all the time. I get people all the time saying, if you're ever hiring, which I appreciate because nobody's more passionate about what you guys do than you and me. But, I hear that loud and clear all the way. But hey, you're not alone, which is the theme. Make sure somebody else isn't alone. So you can still help other people as a federal employee. And I know Renee Marie does, but all of you can.
Olive Yant, you said she's in Arkansas. I gave everyone in my office the first book.
Wow.
All right, Mr. Yusuf, you said where do you buy the book? Okay, where you buy the book is www.breakingowcp.com.
So let's be clear, it's 3 W's. WWW, not WW. It stands for World Wide Web. They didn't stop with worldwide. They didn't say worldwide dot. It's World Wide Web dot www. Did you know it stands for World Wide Web?
Yes.
She doesn't really like it when I do this. It's 3 W's. Now, usually we have more W's because we win a lot.
And they mean win.
Yeah,
.federalinjurycenters.com.
So you could be like typing win. .federalinjurycenters.com, but don't do that because it won't work. Just use the W's.
All right, Melissa Robbins said, I received a letter from OWCP stating that they need my pay and step grade level at the time of my accident and my pay and step grade after my job offer, which I never had an offer. They also want my step grade and pay now. I have an OIC that has no idea as to what to do. I was put on a 25-pound permanent restriction and have just been working my route and leaving the heavy packages. I'm still having issues with my neck and arm. Can't find a federal work comp doctor to look at my spine. What should I do, or who should I contact?
Your union, number one, first and foremost. And check out federalinjurycenters.com and see if there's an office close to you. That's the advice I have.
Sandra Chambers said, so spinal stenosis, degenerative disc disease, and degenerative joint disease aren't considered job related.
Of course they can be. They all can be job related. Degenerative anything. Like, here's my favorite degenerative story. It's not a favorite story, but it helps explain. Let's say you're a letter carrier who walks by job description 8 to 10 miles a day. And you know, the way I know, that letter carriers keep their jobs 20 to 35 years. Let's say you've been walking your route for 25 years, 10 miles a day. So that's 10 miles a day, 5 days a week, 52 weeks a year for 25 years. How many miles is that? I actually should know if I'm going to keep telling this story, but I don't. It's math. But imagine all those miles. That causes degeneration in the knee, the hip, the back, the ankle. I know somebody who walked themselves out of the arch in their foot. It's degenerative. They're all covered. 100%.
So it is covered. Ms. Howell said, how do I add new conditions related to an injury I had? I'm currently approved for the shoulder, but my knee and wrist were also affected.
It's called a diagnosis expansion, and your doctor has got to write a report called a diagnosis expansion report explaining how those new conditions are related to the accepted claim.
My phone number, oh my gosh. Our phone number is 877-787-OWCP.
Which is 6927. And be careful with that because there's some other offices that are, what's the best way to put this?
Trying to copy everything that we're doing.
Ripping us off. So if you don't call the wrong number, it's 877-787-OWCP. 877-787-OWCP. If you dial any other combination of 11 numbers and it doesn't say 787, it's not us. If you call an office that has Federal Injury Centers in the name, but there's another name in there, another word, that's not us. If the color scheme looks similar to us, it's not us. Don't accept knockoffs because knockoffs is not the real thing. And what we're talking about is your life. We're talking about your life, your income, your employment, your kids, your family. That's what we're talking about. So don't take knockoffs. Be careful. Make sure you know who you're calling. 787-OWCP.
Mary Golden asks, can you take FMLA in lieu of OWCP?
You can take FMLA anytime you like, Mary, because federal law allows you to do it if it's to take off to help a loved one or yourself.
Those of you, if you saw this message that Rich Ray posted, he is a local union president in Staten Island, New York, and he said if you guys have any issues, please message him through his Facebook Messenger. And
Thank you, Rich.
He also said, like what we both say all the time, you're not alone. So here's a union president that's willing to help you, even if you're not in the state of New York.
That's right. That guy is not letting you be alone.
So I think this is funny between Emma and Rich. Emma saying, California. Rich is saying, New York first. Emma said, no, California first, Rich.
We're working on both.
Yeah.
You know what? We actually have doctors in both states, but the red tape is so thick that a chainsaw can't cut through it. We're just working the problem.
Renee Rose said, best info hour on Wednesdays.
Thank you so much. And probably other days. We could do them on Thursdays. It'd be the best info hour that day, too.
Marie said, love how you look out for the city people. Hope the rural side can figure it out and get more involved.
Well, we love the rural carriers, too. In fact,
there's a lot of them on here.
Many of you are on here and you're rural carriers and you know we're friends. I have a lot of rural carrier friends. We have a lot of rural carrier friends. We love you. We don't just, we're not just friends with you because we do this. We just are. We're good friends. I mean, lots and lots and lots and a lot of places all over the country. So we're looking out for you too, rural carriers, and everybody else, not just carriers, mail handlers. We've got great friends. We have great friends who are clerks, great friends in AFGE and all the agencies. So we're not just here for the carriers. It just happens to be a lot of carrier-related questions tonight.
Nikki said, do you need to have FMLA on top of OWCP? I'm probably going to be released to light duty soon from a CA1 injury, but I'm nowhere near ready for full duty.
Well, you should not. Okay, I'm not a doctor and it is a medical decision, but in my experience of working with doctors don't release people back to work who aren't ready full duty. They can release them with limited duties, with restrictions on their CA-17, but doctors that understand what's going on typically don't send you back to work without restrictions unless you're ready for that.
Ruth said, if you're injured on the job but refuse to use workers' comp because of all the struggles that it comes with it, now light duty work is eliminated due to machines leaving our location. What can we do?
Well, okay, I hope you're speaking for someone else, because people that don't report their injury because they think it's too much hassle to report on OWCP, ask them how it was 6 months or a year later when they were trying to do it without OWCP. It's way worse. The people that are losing everything are the ones that don't have an accepted OWCP claim. Look, you can use your health insurance only for so long, but then you run out of sick time, you run out of vacation time. What are you going to do when you can't go back to your work on your next shift? How are you going to get through the day when you're still hurt? You're not going to be eligible for a schedule award when you use your health insurance. You'll never be eligible for leave buyback when you use your health insurance. You're not going to be eligible to get paid with LWOP when you use your health insurance. Right. And your doctors are going to cut you off from treatment when your insurance payer stops paying them. So not using OWCP is altogether bad for you. And then those of you that say, yeah, but you can't get a claim accepted. I know, I understand. That's why we do this. We get all the claims accepted, almost all. Nobody's 100%. We're close. But you need to report this as an OWCP claim and make a fighting chance to get your benefits.
Pook Dilla said, can you get a schedule award for a closed case?
You can get a schedule award for anything as long as your case was ever approved and you're still alive.
Mary Kinley said, I've been at MMI since October with permanent restrictions. So what do I need to do to go back and see my doctor? He stated in his report that I most likely will have complications.
If you want to go see your doctor, in my experience running doctor's offices, all you need to do is call and ask for an appointment.
Michelle Gomez said, where do you find a doctor to do the schedule award?
Well, now that's a little trickier. You're going to have to ask around. You got to start with doctors that understand OWCP. Then the OWCP doctor also needs to be trained in the 6th edition to permanent impairment. If you can find that, you're good to go. All Federal Injury Centers doctors are required to be trained in the 6th edition.
Tona said, you both are a couple of cuties. Let's get some t-shirts out. We're going to be working on that.
What should we put? Should we put my face on the t-shirt?
Oh my gosh.
In a black and white, there'd be a lot of gray, but that might look good.
Ruth said, when I had workers' comp, the doctor was charging over $1,000 for a narrative report, but OWCP wouldn't pay it, so lost my case. I think you should call us tomorrow.
Yeah, that doctor could never be a Federal Injury Centers doctor.
Ruth, I'm going to have Jennifer call you. If you can message us right on this Facebook page after the chat is over, send us your number, put attention Jennifer, so I make sure I get the message to Jennifer to call you.
She's not going to call you tonight.
Yeah.
She's training trainers, she's training doctors, she's training staff. Jennifer's busy. She's the busiest person we have.
But she will call you.
She'll get back to you soon.
I reached MMI a long time ago and did the impairment, but was never told what the rating was.
Well, all you need to do is ask your doctor. It's your records. Just ask for a copy of it. You need a copy of your impairment rating. You have to attach it to your CA7, select letter D, schedule award, and turn that in. You're never getting paid if you don't get a copy of your impairment rating, ever. You're never, ever, 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 ever getting a schedule award if you don't have a copy of your impairment rating report. So go get it.
Heather said, can you be off light duty for 1 day and still keep the bid?
That's a union question. Go ask that. Please ask that to a union person. Ask it to a union rep. Rich, you're on here. If anybody else is on here who knows the answer, please help me out and answer that question.
Leslie said, I thought you could bid on a job. Okay, that was for that. Renee said, while on limited duty, do they still have to honor the contract your union has in place, or does having a job offer for limited duty take you out of things like the order of consideration for scheduling, etc.?
Yeah, all the contracts from all the unions are different. I'll say that. But what I understand is the contracts apply to everybody. Talk to your union about this, but the contract applies to you as long as you're a federal employee. It applies to you.
Penny said, I had a back injury that happened not at work. I was out for 3 months, back working now. If it goes out again, can I claim work comp because the job is causing re-injury?
It can. There's a form called a CA2A, which is a notice of recurrence. And if you have a recurrence, you can fill that out. However, it may be a new injury. It could be a CA1, it could be a CA2. Before filing for a recurrence, go to your doctor and find out what's going on.
No, she said she had a back injury that happened not at work.
It doesn't matter. You can. Okay, so if it happened not at work, if the job exacerbates a pre-existing condition, it's still a CA1 or a CA2.
Ruth said, no, that's not. Jill Moore said, if your doctors say you need surgery, do you have to do it?
No, you have the right to refuse any treatment. Just like that question earlier about vaccines. At this point in our lives in this country, we have a right to refuse the vaccine. I'm not telling you to. I'm saying you have a right to. And you have a right to refuse surgery as well. If surgery is the only thing that could help you get better and you refuse surgery, then you are at MMI. Then the doctor can do an impairment rating at that time.
Lisa Keller said, if you are released back to work with restricted hours and work 6 hours, then paid by DOL for the rest under LWOP, then forever 80 hours, I lose 8 hours of vacation. Not sure how that is fair.
It's not. It's not fair. Look, it's not about not sure how it's fair. It's just not fair, but it's how it is.
Mary Golden said, I would have been one of those homeless people if I would have happened upon you guys.
Well, Mary, I'm really happy we were able to help. I really am, honestly. Mary's a great woman.
Sarah Williams, hello from Louisville, Texas.
Hey, I'm from Denton, Texas. So hello, Sarah.
Mary Williams said, hello, I just had shoulder surgery on the 15th. No PM, just OIC. Does she fill out the CA2 and CA17 forms? I am so lost with this because never done this before. I'm so stressed. Asking the OIC, she never knows what to do. Yeah,
so they fill out the CA2 and CA7 with you. You fill out page 1 of the CA2, they fill out page 2. You get copies of everything. The CA17, they fill out side A, and you take it to the doctor to fill out side B.
Mary Williams also messaged us on Wednesday night Chat's Messenger, and we'll have one of the girls call you and make the process a little easier for you.
Yeah.
Nikki said, do I still need to fill out a CA7 under light duty? I'm an RCA who typically works a 60-hour a week. Would the CA7 cover the average weekly pay if my light duty hours are less?
If your job, okay, so rural routes are there's a word they use where they rate the route or whatever, but if it's determined at 60 hours and you're only able to work 20, it sounds like you should get the other 40. You fill out the CA7 for all the hours you can't work. That's the bottom line. If you're supposed to work X number of hours and you're only able to work fewer than that, you fill out a CA7. That's how it works. And talk to a rural carrier representative like a steward or a president and make sure you get really good information. I am not an expert at all of your contracts, but I do know it's different for you as a rural carrier.
Portal Maria said, I feel like my doctor is just not interested in working the OWCP case.
Many of them are. Many. Yeah, you wouldn't believe how many doctors, I mean, you actually might believe, how many doctors I reject because they're not willing to do the work, or how many doctors reject me because it's too much work.
Oh, Portal said, I feel alone. No, Portal Maria,
give
us a call. Message us your phone number and one of the girls will call you and we'll walk you through everything. Don't ever feel alone. This page is where you can come and vent and get upset and ask your questions.
And get help.
Just get the help you need. It may seem like we're just going really quick and rambling on.
That's because we're trying to help all of you.
Yeah. But for more detail and you want to speak to somebody, give us a call. Again, the phone number is 877-787-OWCP. Don't forget to click the follow button.
And let me say this. Unlike other places, when you call here, we help you for free. We never ask for money. Our offices never ask for money. Nobody at Federal Injury Centers ever asks for money from anybody, ever, no matter what. It's against the rules. You can get help from us all the time, no matter what. So give us a call. We will help you. We're happy to. That's why we're here.
Yeah. And Donna Martinez said, on my city route, I walked 19 miles a day.
Jeez.
I thought it was just 10 or 12.
Well, by the definition of their job description, it says 8 to 10. But that's clearly an exception.
Ruth said, if you're injured on the job but refuse to use work comp because of past issues, is there anything I can do when light duty is eliminated because machine was taken to another location?
So this page is not for people who don't want to report their injuries. We're happy to help, but this is all about getting your claim accepted. You are not protected if your claim's not accepted. You're just not. You can be fired. They can do all kinds of things to you if you don't have an accepted claim. So we're here to tell you to report your OWCP injuries. Find a doctor who knows how to write narratives, get your claims accepted, and protect yourself with your accepted claim. I don't recommend ever avoiding reporting injuries. If I was somebody that said don't report injuries, I would shut this video down right now and never come back on. That's not what we're about, so I think you need to get that done.
Miss Hell, can she switch lawyers if she has one because the lawyer isn't doing anything?
The choice of lawyer is theirs also, just like doctor.
Okay, so Miss L, what you need to do is go on federalinjurycenters.com and look up their locations that are close to you, and those are what we have for now. Before the end of the year, we will be adding more cities and states on there. And as far as attorneys go, just the number I have pinned right here, Attorney Eric Blowers, you can give him a call and ask him all your questions. He gives you a free consultation over the phone. Fight for your rights, yes.
Yeah.
Rich said, can that person rewrite that question? I can't find it, that Chris needs help for the answers. Okay, anytime you guys have any union questions, in-house bidding and all that stuff, we really don't know much of that.
Well, some of it, but if I don't know, I'm not going to give you wrong answers. I'm going to refer you to who does, and Rich Ray's one of those people. So if you had a union question, you'd like his help, put his name in your comment so he knows.
Thank you. You're welcome, guys. Kimberly Wise said, could I send you my number as well privately for Yes, anybody that wants to talk to us
Can do that.
And we don't mean Chris and I unless they need help. Please put your number in the messenger part of Wednesday night OWCP chats and say, please call me. And we told you guys to call. One of the girls will definitely call you back.
One of these days, I'm going to spend an entire day from when I wake up to when I go to bed just answering questions on the phone.
Remember, we did that on our road trip.
I'm going to do that. One of these days, I'm just going to say, okay, I'm open. Here's my number. Let's go. And I'll spend my whole day talking to you.
Alita Parker said, I had surgery on June 2nd, tear meniscus. I've been out of work recovering. I filed CA7s and I haven't gotten paid yet. My case status shows as payment on a daily roll. How long will it take to get paid? Also, my doctor sent a referral to DOL for physical therapy, but it wasn't approved. What can I do to get this approved for PT? Thanks.
Call your claims examiner and find out why things aren't happening. The first thing to do is to find out why it's happening. You got to know why they're not paying, why things aren't getting approved. Once you do that, you can send us a message and we can tell you what to do to overcome it.
Renee said, how long should you expect it to take for a CA7 to be approved? Do they take taxes out like paychecks when you are paid?
No, you get paid either basically 67% or 75% of your pay based on your number of dependents. And they should pay you at least once a month, but they tell you to turn stuff in every 2 weeks. If you're not getting paid, call your claims examiner and find out why. But when they don't pay you, if it's denied, they're supposed to send you a letter explaining why they denied you.
Dorinda says, what does the actual injury centers do for injured employees? What are their roles?
So each of the Federal Injury Centers offices, we're a franchise, so each of the franchise doctors, they join us with the intent of following our rules, and our rules are based on what you need. You need doctors not to charge you out of your pocket. You need doctors to be able to write narrative reports. You need doctors to be able to fill out CA-17s and CA-20s and to accept CA-16s and to make sure you get paid on your CA-7s. All of our doctors do that. In addition to that, each of them independently as medical doctors, chiropractors, physical therapists, and so forth, occupational therapists, they independently evaluate you and decide what treatment you need. I am not involved in that part. I'm not a doctor. I don't tell doctors how to treat. I'm not involved. But they do that. But they do that within the rules that we created that are created for you.
Kimberly Weiss said, thank you both so much, and for Nikki for giving me the info for this page. I'm now feeling more confident. So Kimberly,
and thank you, Nikki.
What we would like you to do now is tell your coworkers and your friends and share this page, our Wednesday night chats. And don't forget, those of you that share all of our posts and our videos, you are entered in for as many times as you post. The person that has the most shares wins a $100 gift card of your choice, and we will announce that winner next Wednesday because it starts the beginning of August. Okay?
We really appreciate shares. Shares is how you help me help others.
Yes.
And as you see, you're not sharing to someone who's going to come here and try to be sold. Yes, I'm telling you about these books, Breaking OWCP, but nobody has to buy the books. Keep coming back. You'll get every bit of this information week by week by week by week.
Yes.
Or you can just get the book and have it all right now and keep coming back and ask questions about it. This is the only thing that you would ever have to buy, but nobody has to. Nobody has to buy it. It was written for your benefit, but not because you're obligated. I'm here for you regardless.
Okay, guys, so we've come to the end. It was a great Q&A. We had a lot of viewers on tonight. So don't forget, if you want to find out where our locations are, you go to federalinjurycenters.com or OWCPchats.com and look for locations. If your city and state is not on there, we are coming. So I know you guys start blowing up and start yelling out cities and states. We will be coming. We may not hit all 50 states at the end of the year, but we will definitely try to by the end of next year.
Renee Marie asked if it would be in bad taste to order Breaking OWCP shirts for everybody in the office as Christmas gifts.
That's cute.
That would be a great idea. Have you ever really?
If you guys have a Christmas party, you just all wear them together and everybody's going to be like, what?
That would be a really great idea.
Oh, Carol said, I was in one that caught on fire years ago, started sputtering, backfired, and burst into flames from underneath. Had to jump out through the flames. Thank goodness the male got saved, and I escaped with only one eyebrow lashes and bang. Scary. Yeah,
those LOVs are catching on fire. I notice there's a lot of new ones out there now. Thank God. Hopefully they have air conditioning too. You guys need that.
All right. Don't forget to follow us on Wednesday night chats every week. Click the follow button and share. We also are on Instagram, Federal Injury Centers. We have LinkedIn, Federal Injury Centers. We have Twitter, Federal Injury Centers. I'm always posting on. And don't forget, we have an app. Go to your Google Play Store or your Apple Play
iTunes.
Store.
Wait.
Yeah, iTunes Store. Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
The App Store.
And go get the app. It's free and you can get all the same information. We will be having more things uploaded on there. And no
Ron.
punching people.
No punching people in the face, Ron. That's right.
With your rights. No,
We
yeah.
don't punch people in the face.
Yeah, we don't.
We hit them with the book.
Or
but
we
only
or
figuratively, not really.
Or we take them to the woodshed.
Oh yeah.
That's when we start punching.
We don't let them inside the woodshed though. They're not allowed inside. Inside the woodshed is where we have like a bar with drinks and appetizers. They don't need to go in the woodshed. Take them out back.
So again, our phone number is 877-787-OWCP.
Wait, what? 877 what?
787-OWCP.
If it's any other three numbers other than 787, it's not us.
No, we also have
Forget that.
we have another
877-787
number.
OWCP.
Yeah. Anyways,
If it's not 787, it's not us.
find us on federalinjurycenters.com, OWCPchats.com. Follow us on all of our social media. Chris, we're going to be coming on TikTok soon, where he's just going to do 4-minute videos, just with
Does anybody even know how to use TikTok?
all
She
these
does, but I
forms.
don't. I've been looking at it, and TikTok is like this black hole of time wasting. If you're on TikTok and not on Twitter, I get it, actually. I'm not on Twitter anymore either, but...
And he will be doing podcasts soon, maybe by the end of the year, where you
And I got
guys
a
can
third book
actually
coming.
listen.
A third book, if anybody wants the third book, I think it might be an audiobook.
Yeah. We have so much things coming. We're really excited. Things that I'll be doing. I have a manager, you know.
This guy.
He's just creating my business plan. Okay.
That's pretty much not all I'm doing.
And Mary Golden said yes, TikTok.
Well,
we're going to do stuff together, and then we'll do stuff with free forms and stuff.
Yeah, okay, look, we're done with the OWCP part of this. So she's got this makeup page.
Oh, she just said, and support Gini's makeup because it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, look at her. She's got a makeup page. She knows how to do that. She's got a cooking channel that's coming out. We are in the process of writing Doll's Kitchen Cookbook. She's Doll. Her parents named her that. Her dad named her that. So we're in the process of writing Doll's Kitchen Cookbook. We've got directions, ingredients, pictures. She's the cook and I'm the author. So we're just doing all kinds of stuff. You know, we like having a good time. We're doing some fun stuff. And it's all coming, but it's not related to OWCP. So if you don't want to hear about that, you can check out. But
my makeup page is called Beauty and Her Cocktail, where I help women that are over 40 years old how to create makeup looks and what to use and what to do. And I also share a cocktail every time I do it.
It's funny because, like, this never even came up, but she does her makeup the way she does it. And people are like, hey, how do you do your makeup? And can you teach me how to do that? And I was like, no, I can't do that.
So
and
go
I realized,
follow me on there, too.
But I realized they were talking about her and not me. And so she does that now. She hasn't done it in a while. I don't think you've done it since we moved.
No, I'm coming back August. Carol, what's the name of the app? The app is just Federal Injury Centers. You'll see the red logo like that. That's all it is.
Federal Injury Centers.
You're gonna blow up on TikTok. Great move. TikTok. I said TikTok.
I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna do it because I was told to do it, but I'm not a social media guy. Like, I never get on my own Facebook page. Like, very rarely. We'll see what
is with TSA. She said, you guys are great. Thanks again. Have a great week. Share, everybody.
Okay, so we go through TSA all the time, and she keeps leaving Wednesday Night Chats brochures and copies of my books. We're in, where were we, Atlanta?
Yeah, I left Christina, I left a book, and I'm like, hi.
And the agents were reading my books. I was like,
it.
oh, I wanted to go hide.
I want to do that at Tampa Airport, but Christina messaged me and let me know if I should just slide some books there. OWCP Chats with cookies. I like that idea.
With cookies. Okay.
On your podcast.
Depends on what we're talking about with cookies. All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up.
You two make me so mad.
Don't forget to go to OWCPchats.com. Register there so I know where you're located. It helps me help you find doctors. Go to federalinjurycenters.com. You can find all of our locations and print all the forms. Go to breakingowcp.com to get the books. I'll ship them out tomorrow. The shipping is free. That's a lot of .coms. It's all I've got. I only have 3 for now, but if I can think of another one, I'll get that one too. So thank you for being here tonight. I appreciate all the interaction. Great questions. Nobody stumped me. You can try again next week.
Even with the maternity one.
Not going to happen. I got an HR background, so I'm good to go. So thank you all. It's really nice, and it's an honor to have you here, and it's great to be able to help you. We love you. We genuinely love you. Those of you that know us know we really mean that. So we're here for you, and we're looking forward to seeing you next week. Share, tell your friends. Don't come back alone next week. Come back and bring somebody with you.
Yes. Follow, guys. Help us follow. Help us get to 10,000 followers plus. And find Doll's Kitchen and Gini Beauty and Her Cocktail and follow me there too. And we're going to be doing live videos soon on both pages.
You're going to get your fill, Chris and Gini. All right. We love you guys. Talk to you later. See ya.